Greetings, sirs and madams. I'm Seraphic Zero, and we're playing Monster Hunter World. So today we're bringing you the quest, The White Winds of the New World, and this is a optional quest that you unlock by, well, completing all the other optional quests, and it takes quite a long time, but this quest does give you access to these blue commission tickets, and you can craft some pretty neat stuff with that. And I believe technically you can access it a lot sooner than the HR 100 quest, so it's pretty neat. So today we're not doing a speed run, we're actually just kind of showing off this set that kind of, well, it kind of trivializes this quest, you could say. So if you ever want to turn Monster Hunter into, well, loot gatherer instead, just use this set. It makes the game really easy. So when I was, so the roster for this quest is Legiana, Dogboy, Diablos, and Rathlos, and I was just looking at that. What is one element or status I could use for all of them? And I figured paralysis actually works really well on almost all of these guys. I'd say the only one that's not super effective on is Legiana here, but you know, he's not all that tough anyway. So essentially what the set does is we're using the Baroth Lance, and we have Awakening level 3 on our armor set, and so the Lance awakens into paralysis, and we also have a paralysis charm, which gives us paralysis 3. So the paralysis output on this set is insanely high. And I'll say the damage output on this set isn't great. Essentially what it's good for is just keeping the monsters locked down so they don't really fight back with you. And so when the monsters are still, it's really easy to access the monster's weak point. So weakness exploit 3 is actually a very important part of this set. And yeah, it's actually working pretty okay against Legiana. Yeah, and he is being a bit of a dick, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use a flash bomb on him. Yeah, so this set actually surprisingly has a lot of free slots on it, and I have a few rare gems that I stuck into it. I'll show the set like after the match is done. So I do have a level 2 slot that I happen to put a crit boost jewel into, and now that I think about it, maybe crit boost doesn't work too well with this lance because it does naturally have negative 20 affinity, something like that. So a lot of what the set is doing is trying to negate that negative affinity, and I think since paralysis actually keeps the monster locked down and they're not fighting back with you, this is a rare instance of maximum might actually being useful for lance because you know, maximum might raises your affinity while your stamina is full, and for lances, if you're lancing properly, you almost never have full stamina. But you know, when they're locked down with paralysis and you are using counter cancels instead of back hops for your cancels, you can actually maintain full stamina for that entire period. So that's an instance where maximum might actually work pretty well. So I think in theory I could have oh crap, I fucked up right there. Yeah, I don't quite get through this this hunt unscathed, but yeah, pretty much I didn't really have very much resistance from the monsters. Yeah, but you know, like this set is really good. It's very good for keeping monsters locked down, and if you're feeling lazy, like I use this set when I'm feeling lazy, but yeah, if you screw up, like yeah, it is vulnerable to some things. Ooh. Yeah, he almost got me right there, but Guapo put him to sleep. That was really good timing. Okay, so yeah, and I am using protective polish. This lance can't get up to white sharpness, so sharpness isn't as important, but protective polish just makes it easy. Yeah, and this is how I like to wake up monsters now. If they have their weak point exposed, that actually gives you access to the lance's highest motion value without waking up the monster with the small hit first. So it's actually really useful. I like it a lot. Yeah, bombs will still outdamage it, but you know, if you don't feel like planting bombs, that's definitely the way to go. Yeah, so I guess outside of awakening, paralysis attack, and weakness exploit, you can feel free to build like after those 3 sets of skills. You can pretty much build the set however you like. I actually managed to stick in 3 levels of guard onto it, which, you know, I just like guard because it helps me. It just makes me feel like my hunt is going more efficiently. You know, I'm not getting knocked around while I'm blocking. And yeah, paralysis works really well on a Dogoron. Okay, and it's actually taking the next monster forever to spawn, so I'm just going to fast forward through this. But yeah, essentially, yeah, you can paralyze a Dogoron a bunch of times and then just hit him on the snout. Like, he's very weak there. Wow, this is still going on, even though I'm fast forwarding. Okay, so after a Dogoron fades, only then will the Diablo spawn out of that gate. And I will say this set is pretty much the anti-Diablo set, because, well, we're lancing. Yeah, I thought Diablos was going to hit me, but he actually went for Guapo instead. Yeah, so Diablos actually has a 3-star weakness to paralysis. Yeah, and right there, I probably should have just turned around to block the attack properly, but I guess I was feeling lazy and I just used a power guard instead. And, you know, you can block things from behind with power guard. Okay, so Diablos is falling asleep. And I guess we'll go ahead and reapply our protective polish, because why not? We have the opening. And Diablos is one of the few monsters where you can't use the turnaround attack because, you know, his weak point is his belly and it's not exposed while he's sleeping. So, yeah, you can go ahead and use the charge counter hit to wake him up instead. Yeah, so the thing about paralysis on Diablos is it actually doesn't last very long on him, but it does proc very frequently. So I guess while he's paralyzed, just do as much damage as you possibly can. Alright, he's digging underground. And, that was weird. Yeah, I was trying to power guard, but it looked like his attack actually missed me somehow. That was very strange. And now he's after Guapo. Come on, man. Okay, this should get it. There we go. 109. That's pretty good. Well, I think I'm actually stuck. Whoa, is he actually falling asleep again? Incredible. Alright, well... yeah, I figured... yeah, at this point I figured Diablos didn't have much longer to live, and I didn't bother to resharpen at that moment, and I guess that polished him off. Man, he got fucked up. Like, he didn't even have a chance to fight back. Alright, so now we're on to the last monster, which is Rathalos. And we've... why didn't that not come down? Yeah, I was so bewildered that my flash bomb didn't work that I wasn't paying attention to what he was doing and I got clawed. Anyway, we put on our impact mantle and we applied the affinity booster, which these two tools, they work fantastic with this set. So while the monsters are paralyzed, you basically can get free shots in their head and knock them out with the impact mantle. And since this lance does have negative affinity, the affinity booster helps out a lot. It is absolutely... like, using these two tools together with this lance is just great. And I'm sorry about right here. I guess I was just getting a little disoriented with my controller, and I just kind of fumbled it a bit. Anyway, we're back on track here. Yeah, one thing I need to try to get used to is, like, when you flinch the Rathalos, he always changes and resets his posture in a specific way. Alright, and I was really expecting for his fireball to hit my power guard, but it didn't, and that completely threw off my timing. So I got hit by another claw attack. That is very annoying. Okay, so we managed to put out the fire. So I didn't know this, but apparently in Monster Hunter World, You know how, like, when for other weapons, if you're on fire, you just roll 3 times? But lances obviously cannot roll, and it used to be that you would like have to sheathe your weapon to put out the fire, but it turns out you can actually put out fires and statuses by doing dashes or steps. It's just that it's going to take more than 3. I think it actually takes 4, which is, it is a little risky because it takes a lot of stamina compared to just rolling 3 times. But it does work if you need to put out the blight without sheathing your weapon, so yeah, that's nice. Okay, and Guapo in with the heal, that helped out a lot. Okay, and that's what I always hope for when I counter Rathalos' roar. I try to flinch him afterwards so he doesn't jump in the air. Okay, so yeah, I kind of messed up a bit. So when Rathalos does his fireball attack, you're not really supposed to counter it because it has 2 hits. And I countered it just out of habit, and that got me caught on fire. But yeah, so since they set out that update to, you know, rebalance all the weapons, the lance got a buff where after you counter, you actually have super armor. So any attacks that do double hits, they're actually not going to knock you down anymore. All it did was, you know, set me on fire, and it didn't even do all that much damage. Alright, that is it. Yeah, Rathalos actually went down a lot faster than I expected. So our time is 12 minutes, 12 seconds, which is, well, it's not really a speedy time, but what I'm really trying to demonstrate here is I basically went through the entire hunt unopposed. Like, the monsters didn't even have a chance to fight back with this setup, so it made things really easy. Alright, and I totally... During the recording, I screwed up and I forgot to show my build, but here it is. So we have 4 levels of crit eye. They're all from gems. Paralysis attack from the talisman, free element from the Kieran parts, weakness exploit from, you know, eye patch and a gem, and guard from the armor pieces. And yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. I know not everybody has that many critical jewels. I have no idea why I have so many, but hopefully the build makes sense. Yeah, and I'd say this build is very effective. It makes solo play very easy, and it makes multiplayer actually very enjoyable, where you can keep the monster locked down for your teammates to just, like, you know, give them some breathing room and give them some really good openings for doing damage. So yeah, I really, really enjoy this set because of that. Alright, so let's grab all of our crap. And I use a ticket because, I don't know, all the tickets really do is give you more money, so whatever. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this demonstration of the set, and we'll see you next time.